When I was in middle school, I had a game on my TI-84 graphing calculator, and this game was called Boxman. And this was my favorite game, but it was the hardest game in the world for no reason, and I could never beat it. But I decided I'm gonna make this game in Minecraft. Alright, so I've went ahead and I've got right here a checkers board and an identical checkers board back there. And these are going to be the gameplay arenas. So this one with the outline is where the players will be. And this brown terracotta, that symbolizes the border. So I put these borders down here, and when you're in survival mode, you won't be able to leave this border. How the game is going to work, there's going to be anvils falling from the sky. And as they fall, you want to climb them and get to a higher layer, and eventually when you get to the top layer there'll be a gold block, and when you stand on that gold block you'll win. And so I've got the very basic function over here under this second checkerboard, and it's just these 4 command blocks. And we have the drop anvils and the gold layer, the 2 basic components. What this drop anvils will do is it's gonna take an armor stand that's on this checkers board, it's gonna put it into a random position, and then that second command block is going to summon an anvil above it, but over this checkers board where the players will be. And so if we turn this on, you'll see real quick, it'll spread that armor stand to a random position, and corresponding to that random position, it'll start dropping anvils on this checkers board where the players will be. And it'll keep doing this with as many armor stands as you have. And the reason it'll be any armor stance in this area is so that when we start putting difficulties in, you can just summon more armor stands. You don't need separate command blocks for each difficulty. You can just use one control panel, and it all depends on how many armor stands we're summoning. And so when we get quite a bit going here, you'll notice it starts to pick up. The anvils are falling in heaps, and if you were in survival, you probably wouldn't be able to last very long in this game. But as they fall, they should start to reach a higher layer. Hopefully, there you go. It gets to that top layer, it'll turn to gold. And as we get some more stacks getting up here, they'll turn to gold as well. Hopefully we see that. There we go, we have another one back there. I bet we got ones there. And so, as the players are here, they're gonna be parkouring and dodging these anvils as they fall. Eventually, the end goal is to stand on one of these gold blocks. And whichever player does that first, they are the winner. Now those 2 command blocks of the gold layer, that first one is turning it into gold, but then that second one is also just killing any anvils on top. So as the game keeps going, if an anvil gets on top of this gold layer, it'll just be turned to air. And that brings us to the next portion. I've gone ahead and I've decorated this whole area, and I've gone with a mesa theme. And I really like these trees on the edge, the bright green. I don't remember what biome this is. It's just an empty, super flat world. But I've built it only to the extent where you can see from where you're gonna be. This is the top layer right here. I've put some barriers in. It looks ugly when you hold them, but it works good for when you're in survival. Let me show you. And so if you're in survival here, now you see the borders, you can walk, and you won't be able to get past them. And these corners, you won't be able to get up, even if you have momentum, you know. And the way I've done that, let me show you, is through more border blocks like I showed you in the beginning. I have a border all around here. This one was a little tedious to set up. If you want to make this for yourself, I wouldn't recommend such a shape like this. I just do another square and accept it for what it is. But, you know, poor planning. And so I've got these layers, and I've got the barrier layers, but the command blocks, there's only a few more, and this pretty much works. There's just this one. This is gonna be for like the game flow, which I'll go over later in the video because it gets a little complicated. When a player is put into the world, they're given a tag that says they're in the game, and when you get hit by an anvil, you'll respawn at this point. This is the world spawn that's set when you start a game, and you'll spawn on the barriers. And so those command blocks are checking to see if you're on a barrier, and if you're on a barrier, it knows you're dead, and it's gonna remove you from being in the game. and it's going to check to see if players are still in the game. And if every player is dead, they're not in the game anymore, it's going to end the game and say everybody lost. There's going to be more flow command blocks. That's definitely the hardest part of this creation. So I'm going to go first and build a lobby so that we can get the different difficulties established, and then get players teleporting into the game and where we want them to be. And then I'm going to start going over the command blocks so that the game will flow as we want. So I'll be back with that. Alright, so I've made this lobby. I'm pretty proud of it, I'm not gonna lie. I think it looks great. But let me show you what's going on here. So we've got the barriers down here, and when you're in survival mode, they'll keep you in here. And so the barriers down there will allow you to come to these trapdoors, but you won't be able to go outside, and they're far enough down you can't see them. I think it's a pretty good lobby. I think I did a good job. It fits the theme with all the acacia and the mesa theme. And then we have the 3 difficulties here. I've put them down as easy, medium, and hard. You could make as many as you want because, like I said earlier, it's just how many armor stands you're summoning. And so let's take a look here at the commands. And so it looks gross, but the only thing you have to worry about is most of these are just summoning armor stands. So it's not as many commands as it looks like. Let me show you what's going on here. Basically what's happening is when it's pressed, it's summoning armor stands over on that checkers board. It's setting a redstone block on that checkerboard to turn all the command blocks on. And then it's gonna give you the tag so that you're in the game and such, and it's setting your spawn point to the barrier blocks so that if you die, we know you died. And then on top of that, I've thrown in, I believe it's 3 or 4 potion effects just to make it a little easier. So you've got health boost and regeneration on easy mode. In medium mode, you've just got a health boost, and in hard mode, it's nothing. You're just you against all those anvils, and I'll say it's really hard. My favorite is medium because it's hard, but you have the health boost at your 2 hits, and it's reasonable. You can keep up, but some people like the others. Let's look at all the command blocks back at the main terminal, and then I'll show you how the game works. Alright, so we're over here back at the main map, and I did want to mention my lobby is just 200 blocks that way. So if you have a high enough render distance, you'll see it, but the players should never see because they'll be down here, and then just to get them from the lobby to the map is just a easy teleport command. And so let's take a look. This is the finished setup. I've got everything working here, and it looks gross, but I couldn't find a way to make it smaller. So remember, if this is too much, you don't want to make it, you can just download the map. It's easy enough, and you can play the game. It's fine. But I'll explain it all to you, or try and make sure it all makes sense. So let's get into it. So when you press the buttons over at the lobby, right here, it's going to place a redstone block. And so that's going to have these redstone components going at a delay. And in the time of that delay, it's got these really simple commands. So it's going to give everybody a loser command, or a loser tag. This is important later. Oh no. Okay. I accidentally broke that block, but I'm pretty sure I got the right one. But if it doesn't work, I'll come back and edit it, because I'm making this like a week after I finish the project. I don't exactly remember what everything does. But back to it. When you press a button, every player is teleported onto the map, and a redstone block is placed there. So what that does is it'll add the loser tag, which is important later, and then it'll just go through the title saying ready, set, go. And it'll give everybody the tag saying they're in, which is important later as well. And while it's doing that, these will be running, and then this one, the drop anvils, which we went over, the gold layer, which we went over, and then this one, I'll put all the commands on screen, and I'll scroll through them. I'll try to explain what's going on. So what's happening is anytime there's players on the map who are still in the game, it won't do anything. But once there's 0 players left in the game, it's gonna say everybody died, so that everybody knows it's over. And then it's gonna go through all these command blocks, which will end the game and reset everything. And it's all the same command blocks that are over here, minus these first 3, which are responsible when someone makes it to the gold layer. So right here, this one is going to test to see if a player is standing on a gold block. If they are, they're the winner, and they're given the tag of a winner. Everybody else still has that loser tag, and so everybody will be said you lost, and then the person who won, it'll be told you won. And then all of these command blocks are going to go through. They will teleport everybody back. They will set the world spawn back in the lobby, which is over there. And then they will clear all the anvils out. It'll kill all the armor stands. It'll kill all the falling anvils. And it'll get everything ready so that when the players want to, they can just join a new game. And there won't be anything left over, and it'll all run smoothly. Now if you want, you can download the map. It's in the description. And you can go through all these command blocks. They're really not anything complicated. Like this one is just killing falling anvils. And you can look at the tags and get an idea for how this is all working. But if you want to just play the game too, it's in the description. You can get it as many friends as you want, and it'll just work. And I'll go in here to adventure mode, which is a default game mode. So when you play, that's what you'll be in, unless you go into creative mode. I'll do medium to show you guys what it's like. And so you'll see you get 3 rows of hearts, and it'll say ready as I go, and then the anvils will start falling. And the idea is you want to dodge the anvils, and over time you want to eventually get higher. Now I'm going to try and get hit by an anvil just to show you. There, you see it does 2 rows of damage. So on medium and easy mode, you have 2 hits basically, and if you get hit by 2 anvils, you're out. See you there. Everyone died. Alright, now I'm going to go into hard mode on creative mode to show you a little more of the gameplay. And you'll see it'll be dropping, I believe this one's 4 at a time, so it'll go significantly faster than medium or easy mode. If you have other players, once a player is killed, they'll be teleported just to the barrier layer out there, and they can spectate and watch and cheer for you. Hopefully they're hoping you win, you know. And once everybody dies, you'll see that death message that we saw before, and then you can restart. But slowly as these stack up, you'll see, probably not for a little bit, but we'll start to get some gold blocks, and then I'll show you the win screen. Okay, here we go. So we have a gold block. Now, if you were playing, there's not really any way for you to jump up there, but I just want to show you the end screen. So I'm going to build up a little tower. Oh, and I'll show you. Boom, you win. And so if you're in multiplayer, everybody will be teleported back. They are told they lost because they did, and then you can play another round. And so that's it. Like I said, if you want to play this, you can download it in the description. It's multiplayer. You can get as many people as you want together to do it. I like doing about 4 or 5 people. That's just how many friends I have though. So if you can find more, go for it. You can find it in the description. I'm trying to get it on some websites, so depending when this comes out, you might see that in the description as well. You can download the world, or if you want to try and figure it out, you should have all the things you need to try and make this on your own. You want to try and learn the commands. And so with that, have fun. Make sure to check out the map, and if you liked it, leave me a like. It helps me out. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time.